is the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast.
Hello, everyone. You know, a few weeks ago, I vowed never to say, "It's that time again," but it's that time again. Time for another Celebrity Afterlife Report. It's the only show on the internet that gives you the up-to-the-minute gossip about all your favorite deceased celebrities. I am your host, the Celebrity Medium, and I have gone into the story orchard and picked a few ripe ones for you, so I don't know, what do you say? Let's start the show. You know, usually on the report, I'm telling you about things that have already happened in the next world. It's not very often that I can let you in on something before the residents of the afterlife know about it, but I have just such an opportunity today. Last week, I told you about Bobbi Christina Brown being added to the cast of The Crazy Life of Abe and Whitney, the reality show centered around her mom, Whitney Houston, and her dad, or stepdad, Abraham Lincoln. I also explained that, like their earthly plane counterparts, next world reality shows are actually planned out well in advance, typically for the whole TV season. I said that a source had told me the producers were quietly auditioning for someone to play Bobbi Christina's new boyfriend, preferring someone who would clash with Abe and Whitney. I now have information about who the boyfriend will be, and it's a doozy. Bobbi Christina's boyfriend will be played by, wait for it, Richard Nixon. That's right. You heard right. Bobbi Christina's boyfriend will be played by Richard Nixon. Now remember that in the afterlife, people look as they did at their adult best on the earthly plane. So Tricky Dick looks much closer to someone age appropriate for being Bobby's beau, as opposed to the presidential Nixon that you're picturing. Now, thanks to my source, not only are you getting this info before the Afterlife TV audience, you're actually getting it even before the cast of the show has been notified of the decision. My source was present when the phone call was made to Nixon to inform him that he was hired for the part. The source says that the plan is to spring it on the cast immediately before his premiere episode is shot, so that Abe and Whitney will be legitimately surprised when he is revealed. I'm told that Nixon was chosen because, although he and Mr. Lincoln were both Republican presidents, they are very different in both style and political philosophy, making, it is hoped, for some interesting clashes as the show develops. Last week, I had a strange story about former Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain and his next world wife, Anna Nicole Smith. One of my sources reported accidentally coming across the two on late-night cable TV. The pair were doing what appeared to be a standard televangelist show, with Cobain wearing a blindingly white suit with his hair in a pompadour, and Smith in an over-the-top candy-colored wig with runny mascara. Since then, the show has been discovered by many other people in the afterlife, none of whom seem to know what to make of it. From what I've been told, the highlight of the second episode was when Cobain allegedly cured one viewer of sunburn and another of athlete's foot, while Smith looked on with her hands clasped and a rapt expression on her face. Okay, as odd as that sounds, keep in mind that there is no organized religion of any kind in the next world, so the kind of show they seem to be parodying doesn't exist there. Now, while many are sure the program is a put-on, Cobain and Smith are playing it completely straight with no giveaways that they're kidding around. From what I'm told, the program is starting to get a cult following, with word of mouth attracting people to it, even though it airs at odd times in the early morning hours. Exactly where this is going, no one seems to have the slightest idea. A few weeks back, we had a story about the new TV talk show starring Merv Griffin and co-host Tammy Faye Bakker. As opposed to the lightweight chit-chat many expected the show to feature, the first episode had 9/11 mastermind Osama binLaden as its sole guest. And while his presence made for some awkward moments, as you would imagine, the show set ratings records for a daytime talk show on Afterlife TV. So, apparently feeling that he has found a magic formula, Griffin followed that the other day with another surprising guest, Adolf Hitler. As we have reported on extensively, Hitler is a changed man who has renounced his former Nazi ways, and he is now best friends and roommates with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm told that many in the studio audience for Merv and Tammy's show with him were visibly upset at seeing him on stage as the show began, but they also seemed to relax as things went on. Adolf, displaying the charm that got him elected as Chancellor of Germany, told stories about his time on the earthly plane and what led him to change his mind about racism and anti-Semitism. Near the end of the episode, Merv even got Hitler to sing a folk song from his youth with the show's band. Lastly, regular listeners to the report know that original Saturday Night Live cast member John Belushi got married to O.J. Simpson's former wife, Nicole Brown, some months ago, and that soon after the wedding, the couple adopted a 10-year-old Korean boy named Kim. I have received many eyewitness reports over the past weeks about John being seen in public with his son all over the next world. Now, however, some feel that Belushi is taking the doting dad thing a bit too far. According to sources in a position to know, John was recently offered the lead in what was described to me as a comedy action film. Now, while he's certainly a gifted comedian, whether or not he has the chops to be an action star remains to be seen. But be that as it may, Belushi accepted the role, but only on the condition that his son co-star in the movie with him. Now, that, according to my source, is putting the producers of the film in a tough spot. They very much want John to star in the picture. In fact, I'm told that it was written expressly for him, but they are very unsure about putting his son Kim, who has never acted professionally before, in such a high-profile role. I'm informed that a decision about Belushi's demand will be made sometime over the next several days. So, when I know the scoop, I'll fill you in. Okay, that's all I have for you at the moment. Please come back next week when I'll have more up-to-the-minute gossip about all your favorite deceased celebrities. Until then, I would appreciate it if you would help spread the word that the report is available for free on iTunes. I'm the Celebrity Medium. I'll see you next time, and thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast. To ask a question about your favorite deceased celebrity, call 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-369-3732.